You know, every time I record, he talks very loud. Anyways, Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Hey, those of you already forgotten or probably know this movie existed, I actually enjoyed watching this movie. I already watched it on DVD and got it from on the pawn cash last days ago for like $1 each of the other Disney movies I watched it so far. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride is actually a really good movie. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really good sequel. Whether people like this movie or hate it, it's been a long time since I had to talk about a Lion King movie, besides the first film was one of the best ones, and I already talked about Lion King 1.5. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride starts right where it left off of. Simba has a granddaughter named Kiara, meets Kovu, and that's supposed to be a resemblance to Scar, but not really. But has an evil mother named Zira. That Simba has banished them to the outside lands. It's that Kovu, when they were young cubs, are like the closest friends and love interests, like Romeo and Juliet. And that Kiara and Kovu are the closest ones to be friends. And the film is basically about love. Even like Timon and Pumbaa says, not like love. It's one of the famous lines I enjoy hearing from the movie. And the film is basically about Zero's, as supposed to be the sister of Scar, or wife of Scar, and that takes revenge. And so I'm thinking use Kovu to make sure that Kovu would save Kiara's life. And so Simba can open them to open arms, so we can destroy him and kill him. And he's all grown up. But Kovu has too much heart in him to do it. That he's not like his father, a murderer. And that Kovu has an older brother named Ruka, who does like a resemblance of Scar, a little bit. And also has a mean sister. And wants to become the leader, everybody gets second best out of Kovu, voiced by Andy Dick, which makes him the comic relief villain. However, in the film, he eventually dies when he tries to go after Simba and make his mother proud. To not give too much away, that you have to see the movie for yourself. This film is actually really good. I'm not gonna lie, for a Disney sequel, it's one of my most favorite films of all time. It still has our favorite characters, Timon and Pumbaa, being comedy reliefs. That their job is to look after Kiara. It just almost feels like the resemblance of The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, of Sebastian looking after their young daughter, Melody. which I'll get to another time. They're still being the most funniest characters in the movie. That's what makes them worth seeing the sequel. So there's not much else to say about Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes of a movie. It made us laugh, it made us cry. It's actually a really good film. The film was only like an hour and 20 minutes, like I said. Once again, it's a passable sequel. It's not mediocre. Now, this film came out 20 years ago. It came out in 1998. During the timeline of Disney, these sequels were a thing. Since Disney's first one, Rescuers Down Under in 1990, was Disney's first true good sequel out there. It still has like wonderful songs, it has beautiful backgrounds, stupendous soundtrack, and brilliant voice actors from the original first film since 1994. Nearly 4 years later, or during the first film, it still has James Earl Jones, but somehow Jeremy Ironside, the voice of Scar, was not in it in the sequel before he kicked the bucket a long time ago. Was replaced by Jim Cummings in Simba's Dream. But you have to see the film for yourself. Now that the movie has some great, interesting songs. Some of them are pretty forgettable, but some of them are actually really good. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride is one of my most favorite Disney sequels of all time. A really, really great film. Have some new characters and new songs. I think it's one of the most brilliant films ever made a long time ago. Since I'm not allowed to show clips of the movie, kind of, it's still one of my most favorite films of all time. It's glorious. It's pretty much the reason why that Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, is a resemblance of Romeo and Juliet, and we already know how that story goes. So you have to see the film all to yourself. I'm glad you enjoyed me talk about this sequel, and I already talked about Lion King 1.5, and I'll see about doing more Lion King, well, shows in the future, including The Lion Guard, in the near future. See ya!